What's up, y'all? I wanted to talk to you about something. We've had this conversation and within conversations of other conversations in the past. But this is sparking a new way. This, I don't know. Some things have just really sparked a new mindset of hiring for us, I think. That's the difference in grabbing guys that are experienced and guys that are green. Advantages to both. Disadvantages to both. When to do it, when not to do it. So I'm going to tell you something. Right now, through all of this Corona sucks stuff, you think that it would be easier to find people that want to work, and it has not been. I do know why, because people are getting paid a lot of money to stay home, and some guys just look at the amount of work they have to do, what they're going to bring home, and all that stuff. And for some people, they're just they're making enough money to not have to work right now. So it's actually created a challenge. We have, I think, 30 million unemployed people right now, and it's it's just, I don't know, man. It's just not easy to find guys right now. So I have been wanting to take this approach to growing our business for a while, as long as I have key people in place. I just really want to go green. So what I mean by going green is hiring green guys as on takers, as newcomers into our business. I have hired a lot of green people over, just newbies, inexperienced guys in lawn care. I've hired a lot of those guys over the years, and some of those guys have been amazing and some have flopped, but a lot of them, I would say more, have been really, really amazing than those that have flopped. A lot of newcomers will come in, they learn, they do a good job, and for whatever reason, they're not here any longer. What I mean by, being a good part of it, flopping is just kind of like getting out of it, leaving or whatever. But I've had less issues. I've just had less problems overall with guys that we have just brought in and taught over the years. It hasn't been a lot. I'll say probably over 13 years, it may have only been a couple of dozen to maybe 3 dozen guys over 13 years. It's nothing. That's hardly anything. But I've always seemed to have had less issues, less drama, less problems with those guys. So it's something that I want to get back into and focus more on more upon that than guys with extensive experience. And here's my reason why. As long as I have key guys in place. So on our crews, so we run a couple of crews, and I have guys that, like our longest running guy here is Tommy, and so he is a weed eater foreman. So he is in charge. There's a crew leader, and then there's Tommy, wherever he's at. And so what that means is the crew leader will delegate everything, but when it comes to weed eating the property, once the crew leader has delegated everything, Tommy will end up being in charge, of all of that, and along with the crew leader will be in charge of training new guys. So as long as I say on a truck of 5 people, 4 people, 6 people, as long as you have a couple of really good strong guys, you can't put this all on the crew leader to maintain everything, to organize everything. We've even had crews, of 9 guys on one crew taking 2 vehicles, you know what I'm saying, to each property. But you can't put everything on a crew leader. If you have 3 guys or less, that's one thing. But once you have 4, 5, 6 guys, and then he's got to train somebody and delegate everything, I think that's too much on a crew manager. So as long as I have a couple of key guys, so I do you have Captain Picard, you know what I'm saying, then you have number 1, right? So that's kind of what we do. So we have a weed eater foreman. We have the crew leader, then we have a weed eater foreman. And he's secondary to the crew leader. So what I want to do and what we started doing was, because of having those key guys in place, we have some really good guys here. I just want to start hiring green guys. And I'm not talking about hiring these guys out at $10 an hour, $9.50, $10.50 an hour. And that's what a lot of these guys start out getting paid. No offense to anyone, rightfully so. They don't have any experience. They shouldn't get paid $12, $13, $14 an hour if they have no idea what they're doing, because then where do you go from there? They start out at that, then whatever you go. Have a period of time where if I'm going to start you out at this much, you're not going to get a raise for a year. So, and before a lot of you guys start dropping little notes here and there, I have personally known a few people that will make comments about what I just said, and I have come to find out that they have rarely ever given their own employees a raise. So however you do your thing is all you, man. How I'm doing my thing is all us. So I want to hire green guys, and I'm starting them off at $13.50 an hour. And I'm not going to give them a raise for a year. And that's just how it is. I could bring them in $11 an hour, $12 an hour, and I'll get people all day long. Even experienced guys work for that, and I don't think that's right. It's not enough money, but if that's all you can afford, the person wants the job, it's an agreement. There's nothing wrong with that. You're not taking advantage of somebody if they know what they're doing. They know it. Like if a guy knows the job and you're offering less than he wants, but he takes it, that's his own thing. He accepts the job. He knows the pay. End of story. You don't want to do the job anymore for the pay, ask for more or leave. End of story, right? There's whatever. So with the green guys, I don't want to start somebody off $10 an hour, $11 an hour. We're going to start people off at $13.50 an hour. I'm going to let them know you're not going to get a raise for a year. And I'm going to train you. End of story. And we're on the second guy now. And that's how we're going to do it. Unless I lose a key guy, a key member of our family, our team, we're going to try to continue to hire green guys in this industry, man. So here's a couple of reasons why we do that. So I will have say a crew leader gets promoted, right? Crew leader gets promoted. Then you have a guy I hire in, or a guy that's been here. He knows more than everybody, more than anything. He's mad because he didn't become a crew leader, but there's reasons why, and I talk to them why, but it doesn't matter at the end of the day. They see somebody coming up, and it's not them. If they wanted that position, most guys, 6 out of freaking 7 people don't even want to be a crew leader. But if there's that issue, then there becomes this conflict, something happens, blah, blah, blah. So what I'll do is I'll shift that person. I'll make that person, we'll have a conduct, conversation, and that person will move to a different crew. Or if they cause problems and they get, so many X's and they're gone anyway. It's all about respect, chain of command. That's how we do it. So everybody should do it. But with the green guys, here's what I love about hiring a green guy. I like to build a truck around the crew leader. If I feel like this crew leader's doing a great job, he's promoted because of that, doesn't necessarily mean I think he's maybe going to stick around for a while. I've had great crew leaders. I'm like, man, I don't think this dude's going to be here a while. I'm not going to build an entire truck around this guy. But we have a couple of guys that are really great, and I feel as though building a crew around these guys is the right move right now. So hired a couple of new guys, and the crew leaders, I just love it. They love it. So they're just like, man, I actually love this whole new guy concept because we can train them. It may take a minute, but in the end, it's less headache. I don't have somebody saying, well, Wally ain't around, blah, 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 blah. And then they have to deal with attitude. Even though everybody knows with me, when I am there, whether I'm on the truck or I'm not on the truck, that crew leader's in charge. If I'm there, I'm asking the crew leader what he wants me to do, unless I see something that I need to delegate to him. But ultimately, I want everybody to understand the crew leader's in charge, whether I'm there or not. The thing is I've run into too many times where these crew leaders have guys, oh, I've been doing this so long, you can't tell me how to do it. And they don't do that stuff when I'm there. They do it when I'm not there. But this is all, preserving, respect for the crew leader when he's there and I'm not there. So I'm finding that building a truck around a crew leader is essential. It is a problem solver. It is a game-changing concept, and I've never done that before, and a lot of people probably have. A lot of you guys are like, oh, this whatever, but this is something that I am just adopting based on nothing I've read or watched, something that I have observed over years. And in the last couple of years in particular is Lee and I have had the most ups and the most downs I've ever had in lawn care the last 24 months. It's been, if you guys have been following us, you know what I'm talking about. From crazy employees to theft to just, I had an employee, my brother used to be employed here, and I had a guy that started a fight with him that I just hired for the day. You know what I'm saying? It just had some really crazy stuff. And so to eliminate all that, I have finally come to this conclusion that I want to hire newbies, green guys, gringos, man. Green guys is what I want to do. Crew leaders love it because they get to shape these guys. These guys come in and they understand right away who is in charge, how we do it. There's no ego involved. There is no experience involved for an ego to have a place in the workplace. No matter how many meetings, how many talks, how many this, how many nice this. I don't yell at guys. I've never done any of that stuff. I don't disrespect people in front of other people, no matter how bad they screw up and all this and that. And at the end of the day, people are still going to behave as though you treat them like crap. And I've gone through a lot of stuff with employees, personalities, putting people together, all of that. And right now, that's where I'm at, man. Like, I want to hire the green guy that comes in and falls into place instead of coming in and trying to find his place regardless of what anybody has to say. Now, I'm all about you coming in here and moving up, doing what you got to do, showing innovation, showing initiative, showing whatever, do whatever you got to do. That's all great. That has nothing to do with being, green or not. But for us, hiring guys that want to be here, this is something new for them. There's a new excitement. There's a new fire about it. Some of the guys I've had over the years have come in. They're like, oh, hell no, this is crazy. I can't do this. But it's always been a good thing. Like, hey man, I'm sorry, I can't handle this. It's always been a nice departure. We know this is a huge turnover rate, right? But the more experienced the guys are, I have found the more cocky, the more attitude, the more problems, and the more I've been left hanging. Because it's just that I'll go get a job anywhere I want because of whatever direction the wind blew that day you didn't like. We're not perfect to work for. We try, we do our best. I can tell you one thing, we definitely have that family attitude here. They work with us, not for us. We can't do it without them, but don't make a mistake. I will if I have to. That's how it is here. That's how we do it. We have good days, we have bad days, we have super short weeks, we have long weeks. Y'all know the deal. You know the deal. But for me, it is really coming down to having a team work together in such a faceted way. It reduces equipment problems, it reduces stress, it just reduces issues on a truck. When you have a guy that's got an attitude problem, he's going to do whatever he wants. He's going to break equipment because he doesn't care, like all that kind of stuff. You have so many problems. I feel that hiring green guys is going to bring some of those things down, and it is something that I've noticed when I do have somebody green here. And when it comes to a crew, the crew leader ultimately is the guy that is responsible. He has to be the least stressed out guy on that crew, and he never is, but he just, anything you can do. And I've had, like Barnes told me, like, man, building a crew around me, that's just something I've never had. Barnes has been at, Brightview for 7 years. He's worked at some really big companies. It's just something that he loved that when I brought that idea to him, and it lit him in particular up. He loved that whole concept. And it matters what these guys think, man. They're out here busting their butts. Yeah, I do and all that stuff, but I own it. Guys aren't going to treat things the way that you do when you own it. But when you can get them to level with you as far as responsibility, respect, and all that, everything changes. And that's where we're at now. And it comes and it goes, but I enjoy it while it's here. So that's what I'm going to do, guys. You leave me a comment below. Let me know what you think. So would you hire green guys? Would you pay them up? Or would you just start them low and let them work their way up? Because there's nothing wrong with that either. Why on earth would I pay a new guy who's never done this a day in his life $13.50 an hour to start running an edger? Because he's still out here busting his butt, and he doesn't have to be here, and he wants to be here. He wants to be here. So that's what I'm going to start doing. Now, we're going to do a thing, like I said, you don't get a raise for a year, but you never know. If the dude comes up and he ends up mastering everything, we'll talk about that. That'll be something that I look at. But initially, that's our conversation. $13.50, you start off, we'll give you a raise at the end of the year. After 6 months, though, you still get a paid vacation. You still get all of, because you get 2.5 weeks basically paid here off. So that's still part of it. But kicking up your raise, that's what we're going to do. If you have no idea what you're doing, most of these guys, I know guys that hire maybe $10.50 an hour, and then they'll give them a raise once a year, like 50 cents to 11. They're still nowhere near $13.50 on average in my area for a brand new guy that just started out. But at the end of the day, I wish I could pay these guys $30 an hour, $50 an hour. I wish to God I could pay our guys that, because they deserve that. So what we do, what we can, and I'm always very honest. This is what we pay. If you say yes, you say yes. If you say no, no big deal. It's very contractual with me. I don't want to hear you bitch about what you get paid because I told you this is what we're gonna get paid. And we pay our guys good. We pay above the average here, definitely. Like all winter long, I gave a couple guys off. Like actually, there were some days where some guys only worked Monday through Thursday or Tuesday through Friday. So we do a lot here. I ain't even getting all that. But what I do want to just reiterate is the green guy, man. That's where I'm going. Tell me what you guys think. Tell me if you've had any experiences just kind of building a crew around a crew leader with a lot of green guys. I'm not going to hand this guy 4 guys that don't know what they're doing. I'm not going to do that. Bring one in, give him probably a good 4 weeks, at least get pretty, whipped up on an edger. You know what I'm saying? Bring another guy in, start moving that guy to a weed eater, bouncing back and forth. There's a way to ladder this up. But that's what I want to start doing. That's how I'm going to start doing everything. So if I grab a good guy that's experienced, will I pass him up? Absolutely not. But that's not who I'm going to go after from now on. I'm going after you greenies. You know what I'm saying? All right, guys, I made this long enough. Leave some comments. Let's have this conversation. And peace out.